Um, welcome to you all. Warm welcome to newcomers, new Sangha members. Warm welcome to all of those who will be watching the replay. Um, Tuesday morning, another day of Dharma with Christopher, exploring the theme of letting go. Is it an act of will? So, Christopher Titmuss. Well, I think most of you know Christopher fairly well by now. He's the senior most Dharma teacher in the West. He has an extensive, long career as a Dharma teacher. So, no big presentations needed. We'll be here for the next hour. Christopher will give a short talk and then a 30-minute um, guided practice. Then there will be some time for your reflections and comments and questions, of course. To ask your questions, you can use the chat box on your right side as you're using now to greet each other. But if you want to ask a question, please type question in capital letters so that it's easier for Christopher to follow on. Donna, good morning from Cape Town. Wow, far away. Yeah, good, good. Yeah. And last piece from me is about Dana, of course. We speak about Dana every day, a little every day, because Dana is the ground soil for this Sangha to thrive. As Martin says, everything that happens here is freely offered. It's really a hard work. Believe me, it's a deeply hard work from all of us, and from all of you, of course. Some of you in early hours. I've seen people from the East Coast in the US, the West Coast in the US. I don't know what time that is to be to be live. So it's really heartfelt, but it's not free of cost. So we don't have any kind of other sustainable platform to thrive on for this live sangha apart from your donations. So if you feel drawn to it, if you can donate, whatever you can donate is welcome, whether it's a big donation or a small donation, a one-off or regular. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that it comes from your heart and it comes from the ongoing flow of community. It's not a trade, it's a real flow of sustaining, supporting each other. I will let you have the donation link in a while. And of course, if you can't donate anything, it's perfectly okay. That's why we are all here for, to support each other. Your participation, your coming here every day, being here to practice in community is already a big act of generosity. So thank you for that. Thank you, Christopher. That'll be all from me. I'll just fade out and practice with you all. Thank you. Have a nice session. You're on, Christopher, whenever you want.
So, right, the voice wakes us up. So thank you to you, George. Let's have our quiet 2 minutes together, and then we'll get this session underway. Okay. So again, a very warm welcome to you. George made a brief reference to the privilege of years of teaching. I gave my first retreat, a 10-day retreat, in fact, in Dharamsala, foothills of the Himalayas, in 1974, now 2024. So 50 years of being a servant of the Dharma. And it's a delight and a joy. And let us never forget the profound teachings in the Dharma, the profound teachings on ethics, on values, on lifestyles, deep and profound teaching on the psychology of the human being, on experiences, on the importance of love and compassion, of the significance of waking up, of a truly liberated and enlightened life. It is one remarkable, incomparable teaching, never forget. So yesterday we had our session, and in the hour session, of course, made references to our theme of the days of attachment and letting go, and mentioned in that, and it's an important point, that attachment in its different uses, in the West it's positive, in the East, Dharma, it's more critical, negative, problematic, but it does mean, if anybody asks you, why is all this about attachment in Buddhism? It means to inflame a situation, to inflame feelings, inflame perceptions, inflame thoughts, inflame relationship to the body. So ending of attachment actually means the ending of inflaming situations. Greed is an inflammation of a situation. Negativity, anger, blame, confusion, delusion, etc. So we are exploring ways to be clear, connected with, not detached from, in order to see clearly, to really wake us up. That's what these teachings are about. They're always about that. And in this morning's session with you, I would like to speak for 10 or 15 minutes on another important aspect of letting go. And then from there, there'll be a half an hour or so guided meditation, and that will still leave us some time for any responses or questions that you have. And as George mentioned to us, the use of the chat column or the spoken. And sometimes, metaphorically speaking, sometimes we're not sure, we don't know the way. And therefore, there is the guide. And in a way, the Buddha is the guide when we don't know the way, meaning the teachings. Something needs to be pointed to. And exactly the same at 7:45 UK time, no, 6:45 UK time this morning, George and I connected. He showed me link by link in order for me to connect with you, the Sangha. And therefore the guide shows the steps, and here we are. And that kind of principle is what the Dharma is. It shows us the way to wake up. With the last period, there'll be some time for any questions that you may have. But first, let me speak about letting go and this area of effort and willpower. quite often it's a problematic area unless it's understood. So understanding is not intellectual. The understanding is when it's bringing about a beneficial, noticeable change. So to understand, the problem stands under us, to use it, turn it around in the English. And that means we can see and recognize that we are applying what we have understood. If we're not applying, we simply haven't understood, i.e., more practice. So the principle of this goes with the exploration of effort, willpower, strong determination, and so forth. They have their shadows, which I'm going to talk to you about right now. Quite often, we've got this idea, it's a very conditioned social idea, that we should put more effort into, whatever it might be. We've been told this since we were children. In the cabinet, I'm pointing my finger in the direction. In the cabinet beside me, my mum, gone from this world, she said she was a magpie. She kept anything and everything, including all of my school reports. And when I was writing the memoir, I went through these reports and looked at them. And the common thread was one, which is rather sweet. Christopher is a very happy young boy. And the second one, which went along with it, he should try harder. So we get this idea. If any of you are parents, please take care about putting pressure on your children. You should put more effort in. You should do more homework. You're not trying hard enough. You're so clever, but you're not trying. So we get this idea. The trying can easily generate more pressure on us to succeed. Because we try harder, it doesn't mean to say we will succeed. And secondly, the pressure on ourselves to try harder, including get up every morning and meditating and many other areas, the pressure on ourselves will bring about its opposite, which is resistance. So the pressure from external, the pressure from internal, that we should be able to do more, we should do more with our life, and that's another pressure, easily triggers a reaction inside where we sabotage it. We do less and less. We resist. We contract. So this teaching and practice is looking at areas of our life. What is a change in the relationship to effort, willpower, pushing ourselves, trying to achieve a particular goal? What is the alternative to this other than contracting and withdrawing? Let me have a sip of the morning chai here. In fact, the contrast to it is love. Sounds a bit odd, I know. And what I mean by that, where there is love, there is interest. You meet someone, you start a relationship, it's no effort to communicate with her, him, or other. There is love, there is interest, there is a joy, there is the ease at giving attention to. So we're here to develop, in a way, to develop love as the antidote to all this pushing and trying. And the expression of love is an authentic, relaxed interest in whatever it might be about. But then you might say, well, in the Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha has stated right effort, often quoted. It's important to understand the context of it and what that means. There may be a period, some moment, sometime, or a situation which does require from us some extra effort. You're a parent. One of your kids wakes up in the middle of the night. The last thing you want to do is to get out of bed and take care. You're not waking up and thinking, oh, I love my child so much. It's such an opportunity to hug her again, to hug him again, or whatever. It's an effort. You make the effort. And there is love in the effort, but it's an effort in that period of time. And sometimes the effort which is needed, this is important, that it's creative. To know the difference between an effort which is necessary, supportive, and non-reactive. An effort which is healthy, skillful. The Buddha uses this word skillful many times, towards whatever it might be. And sometimes, as we know, that little extra interest and a little bit of effort, sometimes just at the beginning, or just in the middle of, or just bringing something to a closure, that clarity is the effort required to start? Is the effort required to sustain? Is the effort required to complete? Is there love and interest fused with the effort? So these are reflections. So when the Buddha in the Eightfold Path, which is a small reminder, means open out our life, don't put all of our eggs in one basket called meditation, whatever you do. Open out the life for the exploration, and in the effort, creative, imaginative, beneficial, and supportive, one is to develop. What in your life currently is worth developing? Just say, reflect one or two things. What in your life is worth sustaining? Lots of things, but really being clear about this. So to develop and sustain. What in life is worth attending to in order to overcome? And therefore, something problematic is going to take a bit of work, some practice, communication, what in my life is worth attending to overcome, to dissolve, to let go of. And fourthly, and wise, what in my life is worth avoiding. Avoiding doesn't mean flight nor escape, but it's a clarity. The alcoholic might say, I'm too vulnerable, I can't go into a pub. The person addicted to a mobile phone and wasting hours every day of their precious life on this gadget, there may make a decision to reduce dramatically the time. I hear of people now buying unsmart phones, so it's already minimized its usage already. So these are kind of steps to develop, maintain what's valuable, overcome, avoid what isn't. These are features of that, and all of that exploration is contributing to a freeing up of the being. And that freeing up of the being, meaning that letting go is generating more clarity and space in our being, and therefore more freedom. So all the pointers in the exploration and letting go is towards liberating. But sometimes we get the idea we should find, how am I doing for time? All right, not too bad. One more minute. Sometimes we forget that in the developing of something, so it's not all about letting go. And as an example, I mentioned this on my post recently. Quite some years ago, I was invited to be a compere to raise funds for an African charity. And one of the people, beloved Matt Harvey, he's a local treasure, and he uses situations as some good humor with a good point. So he said, I really like Buddhism, and Buddhism says a lot about letting go. And I find myself really interested in the Eightfold Path, and I'm really developing the Eightfold Path. But he says, but also of course, letting go is really important. So sometimes, when it's convenient to me, I let go of the Eightfold Path. So we want to see what's worth developing, what is to be let go of. Please don't let go of the Eightfold Path. Stay steady with it. It's a real heart and mind opener. All right. So quiet minute, and then I will offer a guided meditation. So firstly, with the sitting posture, sitting rather tall and upright. Please remember the value of the tall upright posture when you're on the underground going to work, when you're on the bus, when you're in the chair at the desk, when you're at the kitchen table, when you are sitting on the park bench, when you're on the meditation cushion. So the trunk of the body feels a little tall. The two hips are moved forward just a little bit to give the expansion. Doesn't require a great effort. It's a minor, shall we call it, tweaking of the body posture. Expanding the cells a little bit so the energy can flow more freely. Less pressure on the heart, liver, kidneys, spleen, diaphragm, and so forth. And with this upright posture, sitting rather tall, and then experiencing the calmness. Such a great feature of meditation, the calmness of being. And having the opportunity to give some reflection to effort and the intensification of effort called willpower. So from a Dharma perspective, effort may be applied sometimes when we're tired, sometimes out of compassion for another, to sustain a valuable, healthy activity. If we think, oh, I have to put so much effort into this, it sounds like a problematic desire. It sounds like we are putting pressure on ourselves. It could be indicating fear of failure. Are there any areas in our life putting a lot of pressure on ourselves or on others? You should put in more effort, that kind of language. Is there fear as an expression of problematic desire, all tied in with this language of effort? Can we remember? And mindfulness includes remembering. Can we remember that which is important to us? Reveals from within interest, which is a confirmation of love. So instead of pressure, there is interest. Instead of problematic desires, there is the application of energy. We hear the language of effort, the language of strong determination, quite regularly in the Buddhist tradition. We hear it from teachers from authority figures. We can find it in Buddhist texts. So then we get the idea, feeding into conditioning. I need to, for example, sit longer. I need to sit twice a day. I should push myself to meditate more. We are impressionable creatures. We hear these so-called heroic stories of practitioners who push themselves hard. The Pali word, some of you will know, is aditana. Tana means station, like satipatthana, application. Adi is higher. Nothing much to do with with effort at all. We're developing to see in another way, a higher way, so to speak. Is there any area in your life to initiate through developing interest, or to sustain, or to bring to completion? Sometimes we face a challenging situation. Perhaps you are at this time in your life. Financial issues, relationship issues, health issues, and more. Sometimes we cannot see the resolution. Our practice might be as a feature, staying steady with it. One might make a quiet, so to speak, strong determination to stay steady with a challenging situation. The staying steady is an indicator of letting go of inflaming it, making it more problematic than it actually is. The way we perceive a situation will indicate, meaning the way we think about something will indicate if we're inflaming it, intensifying it, or developing the practice to stay steady with it. The way we talk about it or write about it will indicate. And thirdly, the sensations in the body will also be a signal whether we're practicing to stay steady with something which requires some effort, a quiet determination, or whether we're building up pressure physically in the sensations, in part due to the old, which the body has remembered colliding with the current. So sensations, thoughts, and speech can make it clear to us, is it the practice of staying steady or slipping into the old habit of attachment, clinging, fearing, reacting? we sometimes ask ourselves, what am I doing with my life? I should put more effort into whatever catches your attention. If the question, what am I doing with my life, contributes to some meaningful change, then the inquiry serves a purpose. But it could just be habitual, reactive. It indicates there's not enough interest in the immediacy of life, of, as the Buddha said, the development of the senses. To see well and clearly and be receptive, to hear, to smell, to taste, to touch, to feel, to be conscious, to be mindful, to be receptive. And then what am I doing with my life seems rather irrelevant. The day is rich and full unto itself. So we live with clarity, a certain wisdom, with modesty. And we are quietly committed to that. Calmness of being contributes to insight. Insight contributes to calmness of being. So we are letting go of pressure, demands, exaggerated expectations. Interest and love contribute to much letting go of what's irrelevant, distracting, unhealthy. Remaining minute or so. May all beings bring wise attention to effort. May all beings bring wise attention to strong determination. May all beings realize the power of letting go of the unhelpful and unhealthy. Okay, thank you for lending an ear. Let's have a hit of the water here. God, time gallops. I'm just forming up. So, any responses at all? Please feel free to ask. Yeah. And how do I get to the chat column? You'll forget.
Have you got it on the bottom of your screen?
Yes.
Right. Near the people icon.
The people yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I got the participants.
You click on the other icon. You see the little screen is like a little.
Oh,
screen.
yeah.
That's the chat.
Learning every day, the way to connection. Thank you. So if there are any questions or responses in any way, please do ask on the screen or on the chat. Lots of good mornings here this morning. Shall I say a couple more words?
Yes, please feel free to that.
All right. Okay.
Just,
yeah. It's from Claudia. I sometimes feel I have fear that there might not be might not be enough interest for something, for example, to sustain a relationship. So do I develop interest, or do I reveal if there's interest is just there? Haha. In the area of relationship, whatever the form may be, family, lover, friends, colleagues, many kinds of relationships. Each aspect of the other if we tend to focus on a few specifics of the other, I suspect interest may fade. So therefore, a wider view, recognizing the diversity of the other, may help and will help to contribute to keeping the relationship alive. Relationships undergo transitions as much as everything else. Loss of interest could be a habit of looking at a person in the same old way. That may need to change and to see in fresh ways. And therefore, what you, as a human being, bring to the communication matters, and that needs to be fresh and non-habitual as well to help spark, trigger from the other. Aspects of the other, of this person or persons that you do not know yet. That's the key to relationship with interest. As a volunteer committed to social justice, I often find myself putting too much effort and exhausting myself. Yeah. Once hit on the button here. I find myself putting in too much effort, and this is tiring, exhausting. The concern is, common one, touched upon today as well a little bit. This effort is a compensation for not seeing clearly. We're a bit imprisoned in a way, maybe, to the idea called justice, social justice, important as it is. And therefore, what that means is to start the day in a relaxed mode, intentionally, quietly, looking at the day. Can I spend a day in this important field in which it's not about interest? Sorry, it's not about effort. Because it's tiring, it will contribute to more tiredness, it could contribute to exhaustion, and I can't do it anymore. So therefore, the change of the view, a relaxed mode, looking at all the subtleties of the day without the effort, and exploring that. You may see more, which might trigger more energy, which triggers more love, and you think, wow, this is not exhausting. And when your day is over, if you work in a building, you walk out, you turn around, you look at the building, and you say, this role as an agent for change is over for today. And you get on with your life. That's my suggestion. 9:02. Hang on. I find wonderful what you said, changing effort for interest. Then it is not an effort anymore. That's so much needed in our education. How can we bring that to schools? It would change the world. I agree. That's what we're here to do. We're agents of change, to change the world. So in our schools, if you work in the schools, as some of you do, please do not be monotonously repetitive and therefore utterly boring. It kills the spirit of the kids. The teacher walks in and a fresh view. To give a small example, I said to my grandson, and he was in his mid-teens, who is your favorite teacher? Not an unusual question. And he said, one of the, this is in a Christian school, which has a point here. And he named the teacher. And I said, what about the other guys and girls in your class? He said, we all agree. And I said, why do you all like her so much? And he said, she's so open, honest. You never know what she's going to say. And she'll say things to them. She'll walk in and she'll say, some of you, this is a Christian school, some of you haven't done your fucking homework. What are you doing with it? What's going on? Etc. They all laugh, etc. So instead of feeling judged, she's using strategy of humor, and she's original. So every time she comes in, they never know what they're going to hear, and they love it, and they wait, and they really enjoy that. So don't be shy. Use the F word. All right, if you wish. Whilst the Latin root for the word discipline, meaning instructions or knowledge, the old French root of this word is to punish. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, sorry, just the text. Anyone who's got to go to work, school, play with the kids, whatever, bye, enjoy. Small change used as an instrument. It disappears from. It's a small scourge. Because there's so many messages, it just flips up to the top. Discipline can have a, genuinely, from the Latin, relationship to punish. It is a kind of pressure. The word discipline is used, the word is vinaya, like vipassana, vinaya, vi. And it doesn't have any connotation. It is turning away from that which isn't beneficial. That's what gets translated as vinaya, as discipline, but literal, the root is, the feeling tone is turning away from that which isn't useful. All right, we're coming to the end. Thank you very, very much. Let's have a few seconds of the quiet, the beloved quiet. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Thank you very much for the kind dana, the donations. Don't put an effort into it. Let the love express during the day in many ways, and that's one. Thank you, and bye for now.